Hello everyone, welcome back to my new channel. This is going to be a free-to-play series. I've seen a lot of YouTubers on this game called Lost Light that have lost touch with the pure beginning game where you don't have an abundance of money, you don't have a 50 cases in your storage, where you're just starting out trying to get somewhere. So today, and for the next few months, I'm going to be working on this free-to-play series to teach new people to the game, since people are still coming in, how to play and how to progress, since 50 cases is not achievable for people that are brand new. So welcome back, hope you enjoy the video. For new players out there that are just now joining, do not forget, and this is imperative, equip the butterfly knife. It both swings faster and does more damage. Going into this, you'll get a bunch of quests that will progress you quite far in the early game. If you saw I went to events, you want to complete those events. A little bit of info that you're gonna need is the quest, the main quest and the Marauder quest. Those give you XP. The actual resources you get from them are not gonna help you much. The XP is why you do them. Personally, I'm going to be skipping over them because I do not see them as necessary for the game, but if y'all would like, I can go back and do a bunch of them to show you what they are and how to do some of the more complex ones. But most of them should be pretty straightforward. So I'm going to be doing some of the basic inventory upgrades on some of your stations. Like you have your workbench, you have your storage, which you're seeing now, me go through the storage. And I'm going to do most of the basic work needed to go through that before I hop into any rounds, just so y'all can see the warm-up that I do whenever I start a new account. I do start new accounts quite often because they help you gain cash quickly. In these first few videos, I do 12 rounds. It's been a week, I've only done 12 rounds so far, but I do 12 rounds, and in these 12 rounds, I get about, I think it's up to 80 million after selling to black market everything in the inventory, which is what I've been doing. So you will see the first round now, which the first few rounds are always against bots, but you'll be surprised, so we're going to have a pretty good amount of PvP in these first few episodes. Maybe even some clutch moments that I do not know how I survived. If you notice here, I'm going to stop and highlight right here to check if there are any gold items. There are two types of gold items. These are your 2x2 and bigger gold items that are worth a lot of money. You have your seasonal gold items, which are the rats, the rabbits, and all other animals that have a percentage. Then you have your throughout gold items, or a better way of explaining it is consistent gold items, which are your extinguishers that used to be purple, just throwing it out there, your drills, and other things such as power banks that are larger, and then those are pretty much all of them that I can think of. But you guys know, all the gold items, those are where they spawn at that location. I will be highlighting several locations, such as on these desks. You always want to explore the full desk because keychains, 4 keychains and 6 keychains spawn on those office desks, and there are many other spawns I'll be highlighting for you. You want to learn the loot patterns where everything spawns so that you can most efficiently gather the resources on each map before having to come in contact with any players. Something that everybody should be aware of, why I'm collecting a lot of these bullets is not just to learn the bullets. And as you can see, that's a gold item spawn, and right there. And that scrap spawn happens every time. But to go back to the bullets, I'm not just collecting these bullets so that I can research them. I'm also collecting them is for two reasons. Number one, bullets sell for a lot of money on the black market, so you want to make sure you're picking them up. But not only do they sell for a lot, they can also be disassembled into gunpowder, which that gunpowder you can then use for crafting high power ammo, such as your tier 5 and your tier 4 and your tier 6 and the 4 armor piercing rounds. So you want to make sure you're aware of the ammo and grabbing them. The higher tier, of course, gives more gunpowder, and the lower end sells for more, while the lower tier sell for less and give less gunpowder. But you should not forget them, because let's say your bag is half full and you're about to go to extraction and leave around. You could fill your backpack up with that other half of your backpack. You could fill up with ammo, and you could get 1,000 gunpowder easily. And that 1,000 gunpowder can craft 1,000 gunpowder craft almost 600 tier 6 armor piercing rounds. So the question is, do you fill your bag with ammo? Yes, even if it's not very good ammo, because in the long run after crafting it'll get you a lot and take you a long way. If you're ever in a round and need armor plates, check this location. It'll most of the time hold an armor plate. Now there is a second location, which I will highlight later, that also holds an armor plate, and that location, every round without fail, will always have an armor plate, but you cannot always get to it. While it's always there, it's harder to get to. Now this box will not always spawn, but if it is there, it's always going to be a arms box if you need one. If you're looking at getting as many arms boxes as you can in one round, that is always an option, so check it out. Now a nice hint for those who are looking to maximize their round, there are seven of these med boxes throughout this area, which I will be showing you shortly. All 7 of them, I'm sure. And they have the ability to have Q-tips in them. And Q-tips sell for around 400k, depending on the time during the day, in black market. So you want to make sure you grab those. They also have a lot of other helpful drops, such as blood bags that can craft 3 large 1,920 meds, or 4 1,280 meds, or 7 960 meds. So it gives you a lot of meds to grab those, but there are also other things, such as if you want painkillers, you grab a beaker. If you want injectables, you grab the mysterious agents and the red and blue syringes. I'm not exactly sure on their name, but the red and blue syringes. Now, out of the red and blue syringes, which you just saw one in my inventory, which was blue, out of the red and blue syringes, The reds are the most important because the reds can be used to craft strength syringes, and the strength syringes can sell on the black market for around 200,000 per strength syringe. So you really want to focus on crafting those so you can turn around and sell them to other players. There are many little tricks like that in this game, where you grab an item that's not worth much, but you turn around, you craft with it, and then sell what you make for a lot more. So you want to look for those handy dandy little tricks you can employ to succeed over the other population of the game that doesn't do them. Now right up here, I'm going to show you the next armor plate spawn, which is guaranteed to drop an armor plate, and typically quite well, such as right now when I got one of the best armor plates in the game for this round. Then right here is some scrap, and right to my left here is going to be an arms box that will give you a full weapon, and it can give all kinds of weapons. This time just a P90. But I've gotten DR10s, M700s, and more from this, so it's always worth checking, because who knows, you get a great weapon from it. Now something that could be its own tutorial is how to organize your inventory, because this is very hard. Typically, you have an auto organizing inventory when you first start the game, where you simply grab something and it'll throw it in, it'll find a space for it. But then once your inventory gets full, you're going to have to choose what to drop. And that could be a whole video in and out of its own, because it's so complicated. There are two ways to go about it. One is just looking at the price on the item, where those 7N30 bullets are 16,000. You just look at the price on the item. But that's not always the most efficient, because sometimes an item that's worth a lot on that scale is not worth much on black market, and vice versa. Something that is not worth a lot on that scale is worth a ton on black market, such as that MPX that's worth almost 300 grand could only sell for 100 grand on black market. So you really want to watch for that in your future raids, because you don't want to be bringing back a useless item. As the game progresses, you will learn what items are very useful and what items aren't. One example is you see the wires in my inventory. Those wires are not very useful anymore. You want some of them because they are needed in multiple crafting recipes, but the extent at which you get them is not useful. So they're always an option to drop. Now right up here, we'll always give you a scope, and where that titanium alloy is, it has a chance of giving you some really impressive things, such as steel, which is used for crafting armor and sells for almost 300k on black market, and other such useful components for crafting. So something that's coming up soon that y'all will have to see is, do you see where it says in the top right, radiation sandstorm starts in 40 seconds? Well, that radiation sandstorm will do two things. First, after 3 rounds, it will give you a radiation effect, where basically what will happen is you'll slowly start dying to radiation and you'll have to out-heal it, whether that be with heals or with syringes. The second thing radiation sandstorm does is it will reset every single spawn and every single chest on the map. All the jackets, all the drawers, everything. So you want to wait for it to restart, which is a minute, and then you'll be able to unlock everything all over again. But another thing it does is it takes away all items on the ground. So you want to make sure you pick stuff up before the sandstorm, because if you don't, it will disappear by the time the sandstorm is over. So we're going to be waiting a minute for this sandstorm and me to organize my inventory. So I'm going to skip a bit and then fast forward through the thing that we've already done, which is loot the entire map. So you guys will just get to see me do that again. In a little fun montage. Have not done one of these yet, so give me a break if it's bad. Alright guys, thank you for watching that. I think it went pretty well. So I'm going to fast forward to the end and show y'all when I extract. Alright, here we go guys. I'm going to show you all the final result of what I got. I focused a lot of MP5 modifications, MP5 attachments, because I'm guessing I'm going to be using that along with the MPX in the future. For the first bit, because those are some of the most useful early game guns, only really countered by the P90, which the P90 is readily available in Violet Hospital. So that is the only reason why that is also a very relevant early game gun. So right here, when you get back to lobby, your first instinct, the first thing you want to do is gonna be to unlock your new items. So you hit return to shelter, and then the bottom, they'll show you an unlock option. And you'll be able to unlock all the items you got from the previous round. Since that was my first round, I was able to unlock a load of items, which is what you're hoping for the first few rounds. Alright, so here we're about to come to what you sell. So there are a few options when thinking about what you're selling. You don't want to sell any seasonal rarity items. And then one more harder thing to determine is crypto coins. Crypto coins, you don't want to sell to Heidi, or do you? crypto coins are a difficult one. Crypto coins can be used to craft other items, but they also sell for a lot to Heidi. My personal opinion, I just want to get the money right away. I don't want to craft more, so I just sell it. But we all have a different stance. We've come to the end of today's episode. This will not be the last episode. A new one will be coming out shortly, 1 to 2 days at max. Please like, subscribe, and drop a comment. I'll answer all of the comments within the first few days. Thank you. Have a wonderful night.